All right, hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the ICP Draft League. This week we are taking on Zach Commander, coach of the Canadian Ledges, with some very interesting threats in Terra Hydrapple, as well as Iron Hands, Landorus Therian, Cinderace for speed and hazard control, as well as Jirachi. So let's see what we're going to be bringing into him and see what we can do for this week. First up, we have Tornadus Therian. This week I was kind of leaning more towards going into an offensive build, so that's why we are bringing a Nasty Plot set with Heatwave and Bleak Windstorm, basically just able to hit everything that he has for at least neutral, I believe, with maybe the Landorus Therian as the exception, but just kind of like a general idea of trying to get set up, try to hit them pretty hard because they don't have anything that can be like unaware to avoid taking all that damage. U-turn for some general pivot, and the heavy duty boots was just so that way in case they get rocks up, because they do have quite a few different rock setters. I didn't want to be taking constant chip damage and having to fully rely on a regenerator for constantly having to recover HP, and giving me a chance to at least switch in, even though I'm not going a very bulky set this week. Next up, we have our Slowking Galar. We are bringing the Future Sight and Sludge Bomb, just our basic moves. Future Sight just to kind of put some pressure. Their only dark type that could switch in ideally would be Mandibuzz, unless they end up bringing like a Terra Dark Farigiraf or Hydrapple, which I don't really foresee happening. Sludge Bomb is just kind of like the general strong move for hitting most of the team, with the exception of like Jirachi, which does tend to actually wall this set because it can eat the Future Sights. It eats the Ice Beam that we also are bringing for the Hydrapple, as well as Landorus Therian, Mandibuzz, and just also just hitting pretty strong. And then Chilly Reception, obvious, just slow pivot, trying to get in and out. Max HP, max defense this week because he does have a lot of physical attackers in Cinderace, Jirachi, Landorus Therian, Iron Hands. So just a lot of physical threats that I wanted to be able to try to wall. The special side, I kind of felt like we were a little bit fine on. So this is just kind of the general idea. And then Sugarberry, just so that way, in case the Landorus Therian wants to lead and we end up leading Slowking Galar, we can just eat an Earthquake, even if they're like max adamant, and then just kill them with Ice Beam. They probably will see that coming, but just a general idea of what I wanted to go for. Next up, we did also bring another just full offense, but with heavy duty boots on Kyurem, just again to avoid the rocks damage that they might want to try to set up, because that will just start hurting and we don't really want to be able to switch into any of that very much. Running Freeze Drive for just the general high accuracy Ice move Blizzard, so that way if we can get in after a Chilly Reception, we can just land the Blizzards and do a maximum amount of damage that we can try to do. Draco Meteor and Earth Power just to kind of hit everything else on the team. Pretty standard set, I'd say. Nothing too huge I'm going on with this. Kyurem wasn't really the end all be all for this. It was just trying to use it for some wall breaking was the general idea. All right, next up we have Terra Fairy Gyarados. We are running Dragon Dance, Taunt, Waterfall, and Earthquake. I have run this set before back in the low tier division low tier season in the VDL, because he does have a Vaporeon, which could try to just sit in front of us with Wish, could do like Wish, Protect, I don't think it gets toxic anymore, Scald, and like Ice Beams. So the taunt is basically just to stop it from being able to do any of those. We are holding the Covert Cloak, so that way if it goes for any Scalds, it can't burn us, and then we can just freely set up in front of it with Dragon Dance. And then the Waterfall and Earthquake just so I can hit the Vaporeon if it does come and it can sit in front of me, because with Water Absorb, can't hit it with Waterfall. And the Waterfall is just to hit everything else. My general assumption is that he is going to be bringing the Terra Hydrapple. I'm guessing Terra Steel just for bulkiness, but I'm not entirely sure which one he'll end up bringing. He has a bunch of different options due to this being open Terra. We are Adamant Nature, but we have, and just a little bit into speed, because with the Dragon Dance, it allows us to outspeed a majority of what we need to. Otherwise, we can potentially try to get a second one up if we're still in front of the Vaporeon. And then Terra Fairy is just to kind of shed off the double weakness to, or the quad weakness to the Iron Hands and threaten it out, kind of threatening that we have Terra Blast. Not bringing that, but it's just there so that way I can try to get rid of it and keep it off the field and allow me a chance to kind of hit back and still set up if I need to. Next up, we have our Terra Ground Comfey, another standard just Comfey set, max HP, or almost max HP, a little bit of speed creeping and speed investments of 20, and then max modest 252 special attack. With Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, and Giga Drain for the triage boost, priority boosted moves, and then Terra Blast Ground. This is so that way I can at least hit the Jirachi and Cinderace pretty strong. because I assume those will be the ones that try to come in and sit in front of me because they just eat every other move that I have. And then if they do go for Terra Steel Hydrapple, this also allows me to hit that Life Orb just for added boost damage. I think once I get like a +1 Calm Mind up, I can start actually putting in some damage to them. Again, the only problem still would be the Cinder Ace because it just is extremely fast and my other priority moves are just not going to hit it and do any damage. All right, and lastly, we are bringing Cincino, max attack, adamant nature, and just max speed. Ideally, if we can get a tidy up setup, we should be able to try and clean through things as long as we've done enough chip damage to some of his team. He does have a lot of bulk, such as Iron Hands and potentially Terra Steel Hydrapple, as well as Jirachi, that can kind of just sit in front of us and tank a lot of it. Or if they bring like a max defense or Rocky Helmet Landorus with the Intimidate drop, can also just eat a lot of the hits and hurt us back. But the triple axle is also still there kind of for that. We are doing Technician for the Technician boost instead of going for Skill Link. So that's why we were running the loaded dice. So that way we can try to at least maximize the amount of hits that we end up landing for this. So that's everything that we are bringing, at least for Zacmander. Really hoping this can turn out to be a good game. Thank you for sticking through this part, and I hope you enjoy the battle. All right, and here we are, week 2 of the ICP after last week's 4-0 win versus Matt. So let's see what he ended up bringing. Actually brought a majority of what I was expecting. Brought the Lando T, didn't bring the Arbok. He didn't bring the Vaporeon. That's the only thing I would have probably liked him to bring. He didn't bring the Hatterene, didn't expect it. Okay, we know he's Terra Steel Hydrapple. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna lead the Galarian Slowking. Kind of hoping he leads the Landorus Therian. Don't entirely anticipate him to, but we'll see. Kind of see what he ends up leading, what some things might be. All right, well, best of luck to Zach. Let's get this going. Okay, so he leads the Hydrapple instead. This I'm kind of fine with. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Chilly Reception. I want to see what he goes for. Okay, so he does just immediately Terra Steel. Goes for a substitute. Okay. I'm just going to go out to Gyarados here. He has leftovers. I'm just gonna go for the taunt here. Okay, so he goes for the Fickle Beam. Puts me down to 259. So he did about 31%, which is about a high roll if he's like max invested. I will just go for the Earthquake here because I do just want to break the sub here. Okay. Oh, okay, so he's going all out for this one. Takes me down to 33%. I don't entirely need this here. Like, this wasn't entirely like something I was thinking I would end up needing. So I think I do just want to get another Earthquake off. Okay, so he withdraws actually. Probably goes out to the Landorus. Okay, goes out to the Mandibuzz. I will just try to taunt this, kind of see generally what he might try to go for. I'm assuming he just goes for a kill here. Yep. Oh, he doesn't even get it. Wow. Alright, he comes out with the Cinderace, which is fine. Yeah, I don't really need this anymore, so yeah, he can go for the U-turn. We know he's Libero. Alright, so Cinderace claims a kill. So now it's a matter of what does he want to go out into. Okay, so he goes out to the Jirachi. I think for right now, I kind of want to just go for the Heat Wave. Okay, so how much did that do? Just under half. Okay, yeah, so he gets the paralyzed. Does kind of suck because that puts us a lot slower, and now he can just kind of go for like Parahax. Did about 45%. Oh, we will try to U-turn here. He could very well just kind of go for like Iron Head's trying to flinch us. Okay, so he actually goes for the U-turn. Hoping maybe we can actually get our own U-turn off here would be really nice. Alright, and they go out to the Mandibuzz here. Alright, yeah, we're gonna try and see if we can get this. Try to get a kill off on this here. Yeah, about 7% on that before. Because what is he gonna try to go out to here? I think right now we'll just kind of go for the freeze drying. Okay, and with leftovers, yeah, he like really just kind of like ate that up. I don't really want to let him try to get a substitute off though. So I am going to try to go for like some damage here. Okay, he goes for the Fickle Beam. Puts me down to 139. I did 65%. That's a high roll on the Fickle Beam at least. I'm just going to go for that again. Yeah, he'll withdraw because he kind of has to keep this alive. Yep, he'll go out to Mandibuzz here. Like Freeze Ray would do a lot. I'm just gonna risk it, kind of try to go for a Blizzard here. Hope that this can kill. Okay, good. There we go. Get rid of the Mandibuzz. Okay, now he comes out with the Jirachi. Okay. I will just go out to Tornadus here. Yeah, we did about 45% before. Ow! Took me to 188? Jesus Christ. Ironhead did 30-some% there. Okay. I'm gonna try to U-turn. Hope that he doesn't just like Paraflinch me here. He very well could. Yep, that's unfortunate. Okay, gotta love it. Try to go out to Galarian Slowking. Way down to 311. Jesus Christ, he's just only high rolling these apparently. Alright, he goes for the U-turn, which is fine. We'll get the Chilly Reception off. Alright. Ideally, I should be faster here. I'm just going to go for the Heat Wave. Probably should go for the U-turn, would be a little more ideal, but right now I just really need to kind of keep damage on this thing. I would love to get this thing dead. Oh my god, he's just eating that. Took it down to like 40%, like 40% with that. From its 90. God, what does that put you? Are you just like max like special defense? Yeah, very well could be. He may end up trying to switch. I'm going to try to go for a U-turn here. I couldn't move. Unfortunate. Well, that's the Hydrapple getting the kill. Unfortunate losing Tornadus like that. He really, like, ideally can't switch into this right now. So I'm just going to go for this. Oh my god, I just can't get rid of this thing. Oh my god. Well, Hydrapple claims another kill. God, why does this thing just eat so much? I think right now I just kind of need to get a calm mind off here. Yep, he'll withdraw. What's he want to go out into? Maple. I'm assuming this is the Landorus. Yes. Landorus Therian is Intimidate, which is fine. Alright, try to go for a Draining Kiss here, see how much I can do with this. Okay, it does about 50%, which is good. See what he wants to go for. Goes for Earthquake. 272. Jesus! Alright, try to get something here. Took me from 90... to 14. Did like 76% with that. That was basically a high roll on Jolly. Alright, he goes out to the Cinderace. Alright, go out to my Slowking here, kind of have to. Jesus Christ, and he's just gonna tank through my entire team, because I guarantee the next one will just kill me here. Try to go for Chilly Reception, it's all I can really do. Yep, Fireball doesn't kill, but doesn't help me. Have to go out to the Cincino here. Yeah, he can basically only go for... Oh, and he goes for Will-O-Wisp. That all but seals it. Unfortunately, like, you know, GG's to Zach. Really well played by him. This team was impossible for me to really get through at this point. Because at this point, like, I'm burned. My team is just way too weak. There's no way I'll actually be able to realistically get through this. Yeah, Fireball should just claim it. Yep, Fireball claims it. So that's another one for Cinderace. Really, best thing I can do is just kind of go for a Draining Kiss. Hope that this can kill. I don't think it will at this point. Yeah, actually, it basically won't kill. He's fine. Yep, he lives. Yep, that's Comfey dead to Cinderace, and then Glowking will die as well to Cinderace, getting it 4 kills. All right. Well, very unfortunate. You know, from really well played last week versus Matt to just absolutely dunked on this week. I completely misplayed everything, so nothing I can really do there. You know, great game for Zach. You know, amazing week. Hope to see him, you know, do really well for the rest of the season. Thank you everyone for checking out the video, and see y'all next week.